Ezekiel chapter 1. The living creatures and the glory of the Lord. And the 30th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th day, while I was among the exiles by the Kebar River, the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. On the 5th of the month, it was the 5th year of the exile of King Jehoiachin. The word of the Lord came to Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, by the Kebar River, in the land of the Babylonians. There the hand of the Lord was upon him. I looked, and I saw a windstorm coming out of the north, an immense cloud with flashing lightning and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal, and in the fire was what looked like 4 living creatures. In appearance, their form was that of a man, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight. Their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed like burnished bronze. Under their wings, on their 4 sides, they had the hands of a man. All 4 of them had faces and wings, and their wings touched one another. Each one went straight ahead. They did not turn as they moved. Their faces looked like this. Each of the 4 had the face of a man, and on the right side, each had the face of a lion, and on the left, the face of an ox. Each also had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces. Their wings were spread out upward. Each had 2 wings, one touching the wing of another creature on either side, and 2 wings covering its body. Each one went straight ahead. Wherever the spirit would go, they would go without turning as they went. The appearance of the living creatures was like burning coals of fire or like torches. Fire moved back and forth among the creatures. It was bright, and lightning flashed out of it. The creatures sped back and forth like flashes of lightning. As I looked at the living creatures, I saw a wheel on the ground beside each creature with its 4 faces. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like chrysolite, and all 4 looked alike. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the creatures faced. The wheels did not turn about as the creatures went. Their rims were high and awesome, and all 4 rims were full of eyes all around. When the living creatures moved, the wheels beside them moved. And when the living creatures rose from the ground, the wheels also rose. Wherever the spirit would go, they would go, and the wheels would rise along with them, because the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. When the creatures moved, they also moved. When the creatures stood still, they also stood still. And when the creatures rose from the ground, the wheels rose along with them, because the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Spread out above the heads of the living creatures was what looked like an expanse, sparkling like ice and awesome. Under the expanse, their wings were stretched out one toward the other, and each had 2 wings covering its body. When the creatures moved, I heard the sound of their wings like the roar of rushing waters, like the voice of the Almighty, like the tumult of an army. When they stood still, they lowered their wings. Then there came a voice from above the expanse over their heads as they stood with lowered wings. Above the expanse over their heads was what looked like a throne of sapphire, and high above on the throne was a figure like that of a man. I saw that from what appeared to be his waist up, he looked like glowing metal, as if full of fire, and that from there down he looked like fire, and brilliant light surrounded him, like the appearance of a rainbow in the clouds on a rainy day. So was the radiance around him. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. When I saw it, I fell face down, and I heard the voice of one speaking. Wow, right already, Ezekiel is giving us information on a vision, on something he is seeing, and he's describing it in intricate detail, in significant details. He's describing this experience, this vision that he received from the Lord. Knowing the situation that he was in, here is Ezekiel in Babylon with the exiles, and knowing who the Lord is, being a worshiper of the Lord, knowing what has happened and the reason for what has happened. And here's the Lord in his awesomeness revealing himself to Ezekiel. Listen to what Ezekiel is experiencing. Listen to what he's going through. Listen as he tries with all of his understanding, with what he feels inside. Listen to what he is saying. Listen to his words. As I looked at the living creatures, I saw a wheel on the ground beside each creature with its 4 faces. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like chrysolite, and all 4 looked alike. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. He's trying to describe things that he's never seen before. Prior to that, listen to what Ezekiel is stating. And in the fire was what looked like 4 living creatures. In appearance, their form was that of a man. But each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight. Their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed like burnished bronze. He goes on to say, their faces looked like this. Each of the 4 had the face of a man, and on the right side, each had the face of a lion, and on the left, the face of an ox. Each also had the face of an eagle. So he's describing these wonders, these what we will see as holy creatures that are there for a reason. And we'll know here shortly what exactly he's looking at, what he's describing here within, I believe, the next chapter. And so he's getting a vision directly from the Lord, bringing past to present. I know that we have goals in life, right? We have goals in life. We have wants, we have needs, we have drive, we have desires for those things, for those goals, for those things in life, whatever those may be. Take a look at our lives. Look at the drives that we've had, that we have currently, and that we may have in the future. Drives could be all kinds of things. Being the number 1 person in class, learning a particular skill, being unique, having a family, obtaining something material, having love. There's so many different things that we are seeking and desiring, and we at times, even in our minds, can create visions of how we see ourselves, how we see how we are going to make it to that goal, how we are going to do or succeed. Do you have dreams about those things? I have. I know many of times where I have won the lottery or happened upon something that completely changed my life or did something that completely was something out of this world. And while I was in that dream, I believed it, and then I woke up. So we do have dreams. We do have aspirations. Take note of those and seek the Lord. Seek the Lord's guidance and wisdom. Ask why. Why do we have these thoughts? Why do we have these dreams? Why do we have these visions? Are they correct? Are they being guided correctly by the Lord? Are they being guided correctly by the Holy Spirit? So this is a lot here, just here in this first chapter. Before we go on, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel and what does it make you think?